Good morning, Soul Embodiment Tribe. Brigette, Patton here with Soul Massages. It is raining a little bit out here today, so I have my beautiful umbrella that Source had strategically placed for me already by myself earlier this week. So I love when that happens. So this video today is about how using the belief system that And I'm not talking about having faith and trust that everything will work out and that everything happens for a reason and that if it isn't meant to be, there isn't something deeper that we're here to understand. So to go deeper into this belief system, it's really important to understand, and most of us in this group already realize this. This has to do with having a foundation already in place. And the foundation I'm talking about is that our belief systems are always going to be breaking down and being reconstructed in a higher energy frequency, meaning our sensations that we feel around our belief systems are going to shift to guide us so that we know that there's a next higher belief system that's going to support the next level of understanding and consciousness that we are bringing in by doing that personal growth and development and that inner transformation. So when we look at the line that it just wasn't meant to be, that always tells me that there's a part of somebody inside of them that is still increasing awareness and understanding. Because really, truly, yes, at one level that will kind of get you by and get you, into the next level. But at some point, there's a sense of responsibility and ownership that needs to take place in terms of our connection to Source and the fact that we do have the Source within us and we are creators. So if we're creators using the line and we understand that we're creators and we understand how law of attraction works and all of those things, if we say that it just wasn't meant to be, that's telling me that there's a truth within that is not illuminated yet inside of that person. And the truth has to do with either the belief system that you are worthy of doing what it is that you desired that didn't work out and didn't end up being meant to be, or it's a power, having the sense of responsibility around your own inner power and believing that you have the ability to do what you asked for or follow through with what it is that you asked for. So for example, you're asking for a job or something and the job doesn't work out and you say, oh, it wasn't meant to be. A lot of the time, the reason we attract jobs in that don't line up with what we're asking for is because we don't have the certainty in our body that we can actually execute that job at the level that Spirit is asking us to do. In other words, the value that you're already emitting out into the world doesn't match up with the belief systems in order for you to receive. And that can be really tricky because when we have a self-defense mechanism already inside of us and we are hiding from something ourselves, because that's only what we're hiding from is ourselves. And so if we're hiding from ourselves and we develop a belief system to protect ourselves, we can't always see what that belief system is. And that's why I started doing this work, because I realized I was noticing things that other people weren't noticing about themselves. And that was when I decided to start speaking up, even though it was scary at first. It was scary to say what it was that I was seeing and feeling when other people weren't ready to see it and feel it for themselves yet. So when we use that line, it just wasn't meant to be. That's one of my cues as a coach to say, you know what, that means that there's something deeper in there for us to uncover. But what's exciting about that is that it's always something better than what we imagined. Because remember, we can only imagine from our past. Yes, we can look at the things around us and have desires, but our imagination and our ability to execute it has to do with what experiences we've had in this world. And so if we don't know how to allow ourselves, because it's really about allowance, if we don't allow ourselves to surrender to the guidance of source, that fear is going to come up and create resistance and what I like to call excuses. It's an excuse for us to not step fully into our power and be able to be indecisive about whether we are really ready to admit to ourselves and to the world what we are capable of. But that fear and all the projections that we carry around with us around the judgment of power, is this person being arrogant? So you look at somebody and they're being arrogant, and so now you take that belief system on that when you're doing that thing in that power, that people are going to view you as arrogant. So that can happen with any judgment that you have for people in power. And if you haven't discovered what that solution is to, I guess, I don't want to say avoid, but that's the word that's coming in, to avoid that behavior, if you don't know how to shift those belief systems inside of you so that you can take action and not fall into that pattern, your inner being will not allow you to have that position, because you've done the inner work, you have stepped forward and begun your inner transformation and connecting to spirit and your emotions. And so that creates a whole nother template of rules for your reality. And so you absolutely will not, once you have that awareness, you won't be allowed or be able to step into those roles or those relationships or whatever it is that you're asking for until those belief systems are shifted. And there's a whole slew of different belief systems that can come up in regards to this. But again, it has to do with being decisive. Like, am I going to step into my power and decide that this is the only way, is by increasing my awareness and increasing my understanding of what I'm feeling in relation to my belief systems? Or am I going to continue to put the excuses out there and let the world kind of crumble around me? Because that's what happens. Things start falling apart externally until you're courageous enough to look inward and see what's in there. And those are the two directions when you get to this level. So if any of this is resonating with you and you guys need assistance in this area, or you're just really yearning for a breakthrough and you need to get to that next level because this message resonates with you and you see how maybe that's something that you're doing, reach out. That's what I'm here for, you guys. So enjoy the rest of this Labor Day weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video. I love you.